If I drilled a water well, it became an oil field. Black gold in my own backyard, no telling what it could yield. They say it was a real deal, well, that's just how I feel. 'Cause I found you, oh, I found you.
All right, we're here with Kelly McGuire, a career musician, songwriter. You have a diverse career in many occupations, not just music. You seem to apply a lot of that to your music business life. How is that all going? How are you feeling these days about where you're at?
Good enough to take some time off and go fishing once in a while when I'm in the mountains or near a stream. So I've worked really hard at the business side of it because, I mean, there's a lot of great artists out there, but let's face it, if you're making a living at it, the business is as important as the art.
I guess that's what's interesting about you is that it's a little bit ironic that your music promotes, it's very in the Jimmy Buffett style where people make that comparison, and it's all about relaxation.
Escapism.
Okay.
There was an original term, I think, that was coined about Jimmy Buffett type music, sailing away from it all, sailing away from the establishment. It was escapism music, going to the beach, going to the islands, getting on your boat, sailing, whatever. So yeah, he had a huge influence, and now on his Radio Margaritaville radio station on XM, you know, they play 3 or 4 of my songs, and I'm very happy about that.
Nice. Well, that's good. So, well, tell me about that. Like that would be very up to date in terms of, I mean, clearly you're bridging a gap between the 70s when albums and Jimmy Buffett and that whole, and now here we are talking about XM, and you being a business person. How does that work into your making money doing
Well,
this?
I get contacted from all over the country of people that have heard my music on Radio Margaritaville and either want to hire me for an event or a party they're doing somewhere in the country, or a house concert, which is something that I've been doing for the last 10 years. And when they don't know what that is, I have a little thing that I send them that explains all about it, but it's basically an intimate concert with a songwriter where he talks about the stories behind the songs and explains things. It's been a great thing for spreading the music and the lyrics all over the country, and hearing me on Radio Margaritaville has been real instrumental in that.
Well, and how does that work in terms of royalties these
days? There's royalties paid to. I'm an ASCAP writer, and but that formula they use, there's very little of it that actually trickles down. So every time they play my songs on there, it's not a lot of a dollar that is added up, you know.
Right.
It's a pretty small percentage, but therefore it takes a pretty mega hit, you know, played on radio stations 10, 20 times a day to realize a whole lot of songwriter royalties off of it.
Well, and it seems with so many outlets like satellite radio and the internet, and anybody can have a radio station coming out of their bedroom, it would be hard to keep track of royalties and that kind of thing. What do you think, like, the future is? Like, what is the future then for people trying to make a living? How do you feel about the internet cutting into the money that maybe you were making?
I don't know that it's cut into it, because it's probably a wash when you consider how many new people are exposed to your music that might come to a show or buy a CD, weighed by the fact that there are a lot of people that probably don't buy music because they can listen to it all day long free on their computer. Well, I'm fortunate in that the kind of shows I play all over the country, fans get intimately connected with the lyrics and the poetry of the songs that I write, and they want to own that CD. And I've had people come up to me and say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so, and I hate to tell you this, but so-and-so, my friend, burned a CD of yours and gave it to me. And I've loved it, and I am now buying that CD." And I say, "You don't have to do that. You know, that $15 isn't going to change my life." But the fact that they're doing that gives me really hope to mankind. I think it's a wonderful gesture, the people that do that.
Do you mind the Jimmy Buffett Association?
Not at all. As several of my songs mention, and the Blame It on Buffett song that I wrote was a song I wrote right here in Clear Lake one Sunday afternoon when I lived at Las Palmas, and I was working on something else out at the pool, and this song kept calling to me, and I kind of switched over, and it's actually the story of my life, how I ended up moving to Texas, learning how to sail, and writing songs, which was a new thing way late in life. And there is no doubt in my mind, Jimmy Buffett was the impetus to that, to me wanting to sail, although I read books about oceans and sailing, anything I could get my hands on when I was a kid growing up in Kansas City and in Missouri. And so being down here and writing that song, and then another song off of the King of the Island, the newest CD, called Just a Wannabe. Because when I started writing songs about boats and islands and beaches and tiki bars, I know for a fact that people called me a wannabe. Ah, he's just a Jimmy Buffett wannabe. Ah, he's just down in Belize. Ah, he's just a Jerry Jeff wannabe. Well, I got to thinking about it and thought, you know, I'm okay with that, because who wouldn't want to be Buffett?
Right.
Either Warren or the other.
It's a great
That's
song.
a different...
nice hook in that song, by the way, yeah. Has that one been picked up by XM?
No, but it's too bad. When Jimmy did his concert in Omaha, Warren Buffett introduced him on stage, and I thought, why couldn't they have played that song? I mean, that would have put me on the map somewhere.
Right.
Maybe in Omaha anyway, and I do go to Omaha a lot. I love Omaha.
That's, well, and so how much time do you actually spend living the Jimmy Buffett life of relaxation, if you had to?
Well, that's a complicated thing, but I go to Belize several times a year. I was invited to go down there. I'll back up from that. I was in the yacht brokerage business here in Clear Lake, which is what brought me to Houston, and selling boats, teaching sailing, got really involved in sailing and boating. And that's where all my songs came from on the first CD, the Redfish Island CD. And you might know we just did our, I don't know, 9th year or 9th year out at Redfish Island, the concert for all the boats out there, which started about 8 or 10 years ago as a thank you to all the boaters that supported Redfish Island CD after I sold my 10,000th Redfish Island CD. West Marine used to sell them, and so lots of boaters had those. So then moving from that to the Club Blonde, the second CD, I spent most of my time doing radio tours and trying to promote that song on the Texas music charts. But then I was invited to come to Belize. Didn't know where Belize was, and after a little research, figured, well, this could be interesting. In Central America, it's just south of Mexico. So I went down there and did a week of shows, and I was sitting on the beach before I flew back to Houston, and I started this song called Boat in Belize, about a guy I met down there that hung out at the bar every day, and his boat was about a coconut's fall from where he was on his bar stool. When he wasn't chartering it, he was in this bar. And I kept going back to Belize because it was a wonderful place, writing more songs, and then the Boat in Belize CD came out. So to answer your question, I spent a lot of time on the island. That's when I started doing a lot of island time, was my trips to Belize. And now since then it's been Costa Rica, Mexico, Belize, that I'm on the beach, on the islands. And I work hard when I'm in those areas, but I usually spend some time at the beach or underwater, snorkeling or diving. I love it all, and I may try my luck fishing this time.
And given that you, your image or you know, the genre of music that you mentioned, sort of being comfortable sliding into that style of music, I mean, does that influence your songwriting? Like now when you start to write a song that doesn't have any real solid connection to maybe that type of music, does that?
I don't think it has anything to do with it. I kind of pretty much write each song standing on its own. And sometimes I write a song, most of the time I write the lyrics and the music at the same time. And if it's an Americana, folkish, countryish style, then I'm hearing that usually in my head when I write it, or if it's more of a reggae-ish or calypso tropical type thing, I'm hearing that. And once in a while I do write a song that I write the lyrics first, and because I've got something I want to say and I don't want to be encumbered by trying to figure out the music at the same time or along with it. And those songs are usually a little more deep, ethereal, cosmic, like off the Boat in Belize CD, there's a couple that were written that way. Life's a Mystery and Sailing Away from the Madness were both written lyrics first, and then I figured out, you know, the music later, but they're way more philosophical than direct.
So it's a good thing for beaches and islands and water. I mean, there aren't very many people who can resist that. What's your feeling about Galveston? I mean, you know, being an import to this area myself, I mean, to me, Galveston is a nice escape for all of Houston.
It is a wonderful escape, and not only the history and the architecture down there, and the whole vibe of that island. It's not Cancun. It's different. And I actually used to go down, I'll be down there tonight, as a matter of fact, for a dinner with some friends. But I used to play a lot down there at Moody Garden and San Luis and Galvez. Back when I was doing a lot of weddings, I played down there a lot. And it was always a nice getaway, rather than driving to the Woodlands or Houston. Getting down to Galveston, it was pretty cool to be either in a historic hotel or looking out at the beach and the waters down there and going by all those houses. Sometimes I would take the routes that would take me through those areas that had the classic old houses.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you coming here and
thank you, Zach.
and talking, and much success to you. And would you play a song?
Sure, sure.
Great.
Love to.
Thanks.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Zach. Here's a little song I wrote. It's off the newest CD. It's called Rich Man. If I drilled a water well, it became an oil field. Black gold in my own backyard, no telling what it could yield. They say it was a real deal, well, that's just how I feel. 'Cause I found you, oh, I found you. If I won the lottery, would you say it was destiny? $1 million a year on a ticket that I got for free. They say it was a lucky man, hey, I already am. 'Cause I found you, oh, I found you. Till I found you, I was sure there was no one for me in this whole wide world. But I prayed every night for you to come along. Now I thank my lucky stars, but there's not much I can give you, girl. So I poured out my heart and wrote down this song. If I had $1 for every time the thought of you crosses my mind, say you'll be a rich man, hey, I already am. 'Cause I found you, oh, I found you. If I had $1 for every time the thought of you crosses my mind, say you'll be a rich man, hey, I already am. 'Cause I found you, oh, I found you. Say you'll be a rich man, hey, I already am. 'Cause I found you.